This video is brought to you by KJR Autoworks. They can do all kinds of crap to your car. They can repaint, rebuff, whatever. Hit them up on Facebook.
Welcome to another episode of CRUST Reviews, and today we're reviewing something special. Before the Toyota GR Yaris, this one blasted the streets. Now this is a project car. It was 1992,
Right the year I was born,
when the Mazda 323 GTR came out. So what do we have here? A small hatchback with a 1.8-liter turbocharged engine producing about 210 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Fast forward to
2021 and here we are. I'm sure you've never seen one of these before. But to know more about this car, we have to go back to the 80s. Rally racing was at its peak. There was Group A, Group B, and Mazda was in the game too with the 323 rally car. It was a good platform because it's small and it's a hatchback. Originally, however, they came out with a 323 GTX back in the 1980s. It's got a 180 horsepower BP turbo engine and it's a real homologation to the 323 rally car. Though this might not be the fastest, it was still one of the best rally car platforms out there. Then in 1992, the GTR came out, but Mazda decided to pull out of rally racing the year before that. They continued to manufacture the GTR until 1994, and they've experimented the GTR privately and yielded good results. This could have been a really good rally car. And with that said, let's get on with the review. Look at it. I know, I see it too. The front bumper is so bigger than your ego that my hands can fit on top of it. Also, I would like to note that this car is very small. It's not like Mini Cooper small, but it is way smaller than a Mirage. It can fit a small family, but it's not the type of car where you can fit you and your homies. Sad. This is also more of a race car build than a rally car build. So shove some coilovers in there so it can sit low. As low as me watching TikTok for hours. Damn, that's low, bro. Mazda speed, sidings, and moldings here. It's very rare. I want to touch, but it's bawal, pare. I would also like to talk about how the wing is made from rubber. It is a rubber wing. That's so weird though, right? You got hood vents from Lazada Racing. Hehehe, I'm just kidding. It really works. It helps keep the heat out since this is a turbocharged engine. We don't want any heat soaking issues around the car, so these hood vents were essential and actually designed by Mazda. Oh, look at that smile. Who's a good boy? Look at you. You got the 90s Mazda speed wheels, you know, the one that you see in Initial D. The Initial D expert. Ooh, I love these wheels. So legendary. 5-spoke, hides the lug nuts. Wrapped in Westlake Sport RS. It's not a bad tire actually. The yellow. I love how this thing is yellow. I think yellow fits this car so perfectly. I wouldn't have this car in any other color but yellow. Another thing that's rare is these reflectors that surround the entire rear hatch of the car. Like a real 90s car, you know. This car is so jacked up 90s. It can get in the casino without getting stopped for an ID. And the thing about these cars is that exterior bits are so freaking rare. You cannot find it anywhere. The owner, Christian Ramos, told me that he bought these polycarbonate plastic headlights for the 323. Cost him 18,000 pesos each. For a 323. What the 18,000 pesos per headlight. For a headlight. For a Mazda 323. That's crazy, man. There were 6 Mazda 323 hatches here in the Philippines, imported by Columbia Motors, which also handled Subaru at the time. Were not GTX or the GTR variants, they were just the GT versions, which is the basic ones. And this is one of those 6. It may have started its life as a boring 323 hatch, but the owner Christian, the masochist that he is, decided to build something very rare, something that's really hard to project. But we'll talk more about that later. Now, people barely knew that the 323 hatch existed here. And there's a reason why. It's because of the fleet of Mazda 323 Familias that were released at the time. There was the small body, the big body, the Astina, the Lantis. They were all released over the same decade, so nobody noticed that there was a 323 hatch in the first place. Now we go inside. The first thing we notice is how low this sits.
Ang baba nito ah.
It feels 80s and 90s in here. Smells like it too. With the smell of burnt leather and cigarettes. On the subject of dashboard design, here's a weird one. The AC switch is separated from the actual AC panel. What is up with that? Don't ask me why it's like that. 5-speed manual that's more loose than traffic cops on a Sunday, paired with a Mazda speed shift knob, Mazda speed Recaro seats that hug you but not too tight to make you feel loved. 5-point harness too because race car. And more Mazda speed catalog stuff in here, enough to throw the entire magazine in. Cup holders? Nah. Oh, there they are. You got a rare JDM sunroof with no sunshade. You know it's gonna get hot. Pair it with 90s Mazda aircon and you got yourself two car enthusiasts roasting like chicken. Okay, you know what? I'm just too hungry. Hold on. I'm hungry. I want some chicken. There are seats at the back of the 323 GTR, but how small is it?
How's the knee room? Knee room? Not very good.
We open the rear hatch and we can see that it can fit a full-sized midget and probably a couple of groceries. A full-sized what? Aside from the Mazda speed bits and the GTR bits inside this car, the real creme de la creme of this interior are these signatures. See, these were signatures of Nobuhiro Yamamoto. This guy, what a guy, this guy was everywhere in Mazda. He overseen development of both the RX-7 FC and the FD brothers happy. He was also responsible for the rotary engine of the Mazda 787B Le Mans race car, which won, by the way. He was the man of Mazda. What a legend. And he signed this car. Today, he's the program manager for MX-5. Oh shit, wait. I almost forgot. He's the guy who engineered the BP engine for Mazda. That includes all 323s and the 323 GTR. I almost forgot to mention that one. Which brings us to our next segment, the engine. If you ever think that Mazda was only solely focused on making boring economical cars, well, prepare to be wrong. Because Mazda was actually making fun cars at this point. They were just not released here in the Philippines because third world problems, right? So what do we have here? It's a 1.8 liter BDP engine, stronger pistons and conrods, bigger injectors, and the works to put out 210 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Mated to a 5-speed manual, sent to all 4 wheels with a limited slip. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, that's not really impressive for today's standards. But considering how light and small this thing is, it's a pocket rocket. For fuel economy though, well, to be honest, this is what you call miles per gallon. But if you're really curious, the owner Christian was able to do 11 kilometers per liter at best. On a normal day though, he gets around 5 to 7 kilometers per liter. That's like a ballpark. But for something that puts out 210 horsepower and a turbocharged engine, that's very good. No, seriously, that's actually pretty good. Our camera car probably did worse, just trying to catch up to this little pocket rocket. Speaking of which, strap on your tranquility and prepare your ass for a rough ride. Yes, sir. Kung kaya ng power steering mo. So what's the story of this 323 GTR? Well, it started as the local 323 hatch that was released here in the Philippines back in the day. Christian was able to score this as chassis only and nothing else. From there, he started building it one by one, and it took him over around 2 to 3 years to build it. To secure all the parts, and then he's still trying to complete it to this day. So what about maintenance? Well, the underpinnings are the same as the 323 Familia sedan that was released here, so that's not a problem. The suspension bits are not a problem at all. What's really hard to find though are the engine bits for the BDP engine and the exterior bits that's unique to the 323 GTR. So there are two rules to owning this 323 GTR. One is to prevent the check engine light, because if that happens, I don't know what you're gonna do. The second one is getting bumped, because if that happens, I also don't know what you're gonna do. But overall, Christian said the ownership experience is fine. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking of building one, don't be discouraged, because it's project cars like these that really benefit the car culture. It's so rare, and in a world full of overpriced Civics, it doesn't hurt to be a little different. For the car owners who dared to be different, shedding their blood, sweat, and tears, you guys deserve my utmost respect. Thank you, Sir Christian. What a great time. Can't wait to review your NA.